The suitcase felt far too heavy. When she reached for the handle, her knuckles turned pale, and she nearly lost her balance. That momentary falter, just a flash of unguarded surprise, made every late night and calculated step I took to prepare for this weekend entirely worth it. "Did you pack bricks or something?" She laughed awkwardly, her eyes flickering to mine, searching for a reaction. I shrugged, keeping my face blank. "Everything you'll need is inside," I said, my tone flat. "This trip is important." She paused, then pasted on that rehearsed smile I'd grown to hate. The one she'd been using for months. The one that never reached her eyes. "You're always so considerate," she said, pressing her lips to my cheek. Cold. Emotionless. Like a stranger's touch. I watched her drag the suitcase toward the door, its wheels squeaking under the strain. Only when her car pulled out of the driveway and disappeared did I finally let out a long, steady breath. Now it began. Her name was Amanda. We'd spent nearly a decade together. 8 of those married. If you'd asked me not long ago, I would have said we were content, even happy. We had our rhythms, shared memories, private jokes, and dreams we built over coffee and long drives. Or so I believed. That comforting illusion shattered 3 months earlier when a message lit up her phone. She'd left it charging on the kitchen counter while she showered. I hadn't intended to look. I wasn't the suspicious type. But when the screen brightened, I couldn't ignore the words. "Can't wait to hold you again this weekend. Miss you." Signed Brent. Brent? I didn't know a Brent. Neither did our circle of friends. And as far as I knew, she worked with no one by that name. My stomach knotted, but I didn't pick up the phone. Not yet. I needed more. I needed certainty. So I began digging. What followed were weeks of carefully hidden investigation. She thought I was blind to her lies, but while she played her role, I was busy collecting evidence. I installed software on her laptop that logged every keystroke. I watched her messages unfold in real time. I followed her once from a distance, when she claimed she had late meetings, right to an upscale hotel downtown. I even placed a GPS tracker in her car. And the truth that unraveled was far uglier than I had imagined. Each sweet, "I love you," she whispered before heading out to him. Every lie, every alibi, it all became another blade in my back. But I said nothing. Not yet. Let her think she was in control. So when she brought up a weekend away with her friends, I didn't even flinch. I nodded, supportive. "You should go. Relax a little," I told her. "I've got a few things I've been meaning to work on around the house." She beamed. Grateful. Trusting. The nerve. I helped her pack. Folded her favorite dresses. The ones I knew weren't meant for just drinks with the girls. And while she chose her perfumes and makeup, I prepared my own suitcase. Not with clothing. Mine was filled with printed emails, screenshots, receipts. Evidence that would tear her charade to the ground. Brent lived in a modern high-rise across the city. I'd scoped it out enough times to know his habits. Polished, confident. Probably never imagined that the man whose life he was invading would show up on his doorstep. I waited until I was sure they were both inside before approaching the building. My pulse was thudding in my ears as I knocked. Once, hard and certain. The door opened and there he was. Late 30s. Clean-cut. Expensive watch glimmering under the hallway light. His confident expression faltered when he saw me. "Can I help you?" "You sure can," I replied, stepping forward. He hesitated. I didn't. My shoulder hit the door and I was inside. "Hey, you can't just..." "Shut it, Brent." I cut him off with ice in my voice. Amanda appeared in the hallway. She froze when she saw me, pulling her robe tighter around her like it could somehow shield her from what was coming. "Mark, what are you doing here?" I ignored her, staring down Brent. "You know who I am?" He swallowed. "I think you should leave." I laughed, cold and sharp. "Oh, don't worry. I will. But not before we clear a few things up." I pulled the folder from my bag and tossed its contents across the table. Emails, photos, time-stamped GPS logs. The truth laid bare. Brent's eyes widened. Amanda took a step back. "You thought I wouldn't notice?" I snapped. That I was too stupid, too trusting? "Mark, please," Amanda whispered. "Let's talk in private." Private. I turned to her, fury burning. Was anything private when you were screwing him behind my back? She flinched, tears filling her eyes. But I didn't care anymore. No. You don't get to cry. You don't get to play the victim. You chose this. I turned back to Brent. How's it feel? Getting caught? Knowing it's all about to come crashing down? Look, I didn't want this to. Spare me, I snapped. I'm not the one who needs to hear your pathetic excuses. But your wife might. He paled. What? I found her. Lovely woman, by the way. I imagine she'll be interested in all this. Amanda's voice cracked. Mark, don't. Please. You should have thought about that before, I said quietly. I picked up my bag, walked to the door. Before leaving, I turned one last time. Oh, and Brent, if you ever come near her again, I'll make sure your whole professional circle knows exactly what kind of man you are. I left without another word. The aftermath was immediate. The next day, I mailed every piece of evidence to Brent's wife, along with a brief letter expressing my regret for what she was about to go through. She filed for divorce within a week. Brent lost his job not long after. His company didn't want the scandal. He resigned quietly. As for Amanda, she begged, cried, tried to explain, but I wasn't interested in her stories anymore. The divorce proceedings were already in motion. I made sure she walked away with nothing. No shared home. No car. No second chances. It was brutal. It was painful. But as I stood in the echo of our empty house, I finally felt it, relief. I'd lost a wife, yes. But I'd regained something far more precious. My freedom. And the quiet, undeniable justice of watching everything she built on lies come crumbling down.